We're gonna see what she's talking about real quick. Wait a minute, here. Oh,
Designer this and designer that. No, because let's talk about how China exposing luxury brands for selling them cheap ass goods is even going to change the music industry. Rappers are not going to be able to rap about the same things anymore. How do you look like rapping about, your Louis belt and designer this and designer that when the jig is up? All that shit is worthless. You know what I mean? Because, like, think about it. The whole point of brands sending these celebrity puppets their items was so that they can flex to their everyday audience that, oh yeah, I'm making money, I'm rich, and y'all niggas is broke, and this is something to aspire to. But I've been peeped and I've been telling y'all, celebrities don't have no goddamn money. They get all of that shit for free in exchange for promoting it to your everyday hardworking ass. Yeah, and so, what does that make you want to do? It's all about psychology. It makes you want to go grind and hustle. You listen to trap music, you want to grind and hustle so you can go buy what they're talking about. It's subliminal programming. And so now that the jig is up, the spell has worn off that, oh yeah, all that shit is bullshit. Celebrities are actually broke. They don't really have any money to buy half that shit that they're wearing. They're getting it for free because they're living off of a goddamn label loan, low key doing criminal, dirty, shady business, to make any kind of real money because they don't make no money off of stream. But now you can't even flex the designer names. Now you can't even flex your Louis belt. Now you can't even flex your Louis bag, your Louis duffel. So how you really about to make any money? If your daddy Louis V and Balenciaga, their shit not even worth anything now, and it's definitely not worth flexing. And nobody's gonna buy that shit anymore. So now you're gonna have to switch up your whole flow. Now you're gonna have to work with some actual lyrics, some actual talent, some actual content. Because we've been woken up. We don't want to hear that shit no more. I've been peeped that the Kardashians and Cardi B, a lot of that shit is either fake or given to them. Them bitches do not have that kind of money. Okay, especially not Cardi B. Her music is not selling and she ain't been on tour once. The jig is up, y'all. Let's talk in the comments.
the people gotta be ready for that type of music. To be totally honest, because all they've been listening to is materialistic music for the past like maybe 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? At least 20. So if you ready for music with substance and it ain't gonna, like be too much for you, then yeah, I definitely agree. Because what's the one thing everybody gonna revert to if it's not a club banger, something to shake, something to, or if it's not something inspirational, if it's not party music or if it's not positive, you know what I mean? It's not like artists have been typically just making, regular people music, like regular day type music, you know, something that would inspire one's everyday routine, you know, but it would be something to look into, wouldn't it? And also, it's things like, spiritual messages and spiritual paths that people have taken on as a collective, especially in hip hop, you know what I mean? So they have certain situations going on, certain obligations to where they would have to still keep doing what they were doing in that certain fashion as far as keeping their faith alive, in an area where they need to keep their faith alive. So you probably gonna hear some, more inspirational music from them too. But what I'm saying is like the more it reaches, God, like literally and legitimately reaches God, it's gonna add weight on the people, like you're gonna have to really be about the message that's being provided in order to even bear it. Like if you think it's a game, it's not.